One Down, the comedy crossword podcast.
Welcome to One Down, the comedy crossword podcast. I am, of course, Brendan Eyre. I'm joined, as always, by Greg Warren. Greg, how you doing?
Hey, Brendan, how's it going, man?
There's a thing I didn't know about, Greg, as you know.
Really?
I wasn't expecting you to agree before I got to the thing, but I don't know. Are you familiar with this false labor?
False labor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you think that your wife's having a baby, but she's not.
Yes, these babies are in there, and I'm not going to let Amy off the hook. They're falsifying labor. So I'm there, I'm timing contractions, getting the bags ready. This baby's pulling something, a fake out, a test run.
Amy is complicit. She's you're calling your wife a liar.
Well, she's complicit in falsifying the labor. Yes, that is,
Okay.
If she were to falsify documents, I would turn her in, and this was a falsified labor.
Oh, yeah. Oh, now who would you turn her into?
Anyone. I would rat her out in a second. These things, they start.
Do you have any idea on what authority that you, I mean, who would you, any idea on who you might turn her into? Is it the IRS? Is that who you're thinking about? Or?
I would turn her into the IRS, the IRA, a guy I know named Ira.
The Irish Republican Army.
Sure.
Is regulating OBGYN stuff now.
Yeah. You're talking about I thought we were back to falsifying documents, which I believe she's probably also involved in. Falsifying labor, I'd turn her into the AMA, which I'm only familiar with because the New York Times.
I think that more regulates doctors. I don't think it really is a regulatory body for patients.
Maybe I'll call the mayor. I don't know. See what she has to say about it. You can call the mayor, see what she has. I'm not going to call the DMV because they were no help last time I tried to turn her in.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. In all seriousness, it's very interesting that you go, these babies, it goes like, okay, it's coming. Everything they told you was going to happen is happening. Nah, just kidding. It was just doing something. Now it's back asleep.
And the good thing is you're not really an excitable, knee-jerk type of guy.
You should have seen me, Greg. I had 2 stopwatches out. I'm going, you got to yell start when they start. I need to know the exact time.
Like a track coach. Huh?
Like a track coach. I'm packing. The bags are already packed, but I got them at the door.
So no baby yet, huh?
No, it came. It was actually not falsified. It came. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just finding this out now, huh?
Yeah, that'd be wild.
I was hoping maybe today was the day. It's my mom's birthday, so I was hoping maybe.
That would have been nice. That would have been really nice.
Still could happen though, right?
What's that?
Still could happen today, right?
It could. I mean, I think honestly, whenever you're having a baby, you as much as I want it. Amy to be out of the discomfort of being pregnant, going full term is always the best, even though at this point she's safe and it's fine, we're 38 and something weeks, but you always would prefer it to go to 40. I'm shooting for 49. I think staying there a little longer.
that's I don't know if that's such a good idea, but
again,
neither
of us are
knowledgeable
doctors.
As you. Yeah.
No, you're more knowledgeable than me, I'd say.
That would be sad. What do you say we get to the puzzles? And now you went clean again, right?
I went clean. And did you go 6 for 7 or clean?
6 for 7. I just remember that I forgot to hit solve on Saturday. So technically I'm not out of the game on Saturday until I hit solve.
Hey, that's an open. You're 6 for 6, dog. This is great.
Yeah. So I'm like those. I'm like I know we sort of stray away from politics, but I'm like Mitch McConnell when they send something over and he's like, well, we're not saying that we're not going to vote it down, but we're not going to we're not going to vote on it. That's how I am with Saturday's puzzle. It's I didn't get it, but I did not get it yet.
So in the new year, we're 12 for 14 with an asterisk. Technically 12 for 13, as there is an open book on that Saturday. What I would like to see is maybe as a New Year's resolution. Never hit solve on that Saturday till you solve it. All year. Spend all year.
Just the whole time, huh?
The whole, yeah.
Well, the problem is we're going to go over that puzzle, and then that's effectively I've cheated at that point.
Well, I've got 3 jokes on it. I don't think they'll be giving much away. As usual, they'll be stupid.
Yeah, I think there's more likelihood that the jokes will be unfunny than they're from both sides, than that they will be giving us a tip on how to get me to solve that puzzle. But still, we're pretty strict on the rules here, and I'd like to keep it that way. Yeah.
We are. We all are. So Monday, January 4th, this was a Kathy Weinberg. The theme was Wonder Woman. Do you have any? Was there any reason for this theme or no? Random.
Yeah, the new Wonder Woman movie came out.
Wonder Woman
1984, and I got to tell you, I watched about 25 minutes of it and turned it off. I didn't care for it.
I have heard from I'll say his name. I've heard from Greg Stone, who is my biggest comic book
sort of a superhero nerd type guy.
Superhero aficionado. Hated it. Okay. Everyone pretty much hated that movie. But anyway, you had some Wonder Woman themed answers. You had Diana Prince, which is her real name. You had DC Comics, who created it. You had Linda Carter, who originally played her on TV, and then Gal Gadot, who plays her in the movie. So it's a Wonder Woman theme, pretty standard Monday theme.
Yeah. It's, I think it helped me a little bit. I think I did Monday, like I didn't get to the puzzles until middle of the week, and I don't think I did Monday first. So.
I find that to be a nice strategy when I sometimes will go backwards. That I like that. I like leaving Monday and Tuesday till after Thursday and Wednesday sometimes. But anyway, 49 across lead in to man in superhero-dom, and that was Aqua. Greg, do you find Aquaman to be kind of limited because there just aren't that many underwater crimes? Do you know what I mean?
That's a really good point, man.
Like the rest of them are just going, we'll stop the super villain from blowing up the city. Aquaman, maybe, I don't know, just see if they're fishing crab out of season or, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like he would have got involved in the Valdez. It was less of a crime than a malfeasance, but, it's still.
The 2 times we needed him, World War II with the U-boats and the Exxon Valdez, he was nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be found. Yeah.
So,
that's really not a lot of underwater crime.
Not a ton, no.
I think probably there was several movies during a period, I think more late 80s or early 80s maybe, where, there's a lot of people looking for buried treasure down in the Caribbean, and they would kill each other in order to get that treasure.
Sure.
Yeah. Thinking of the movie The Deep, I think is the movie.
Oh, I liked that movie, actually.
Yeah. Jacqueline Bisset, maybe? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. 29 down, Brainy Bunch. That's Mensa. Familiar with these guys, Brendan?
Yeah, don't care for them.
Really? Are you? Did you try to get in or something?
No, I qualify.
Do you?
Yes, I do. But I find the idea that you would take your IQ score and join a club with it to be despicable.
I like it.
Like
but
it?
I'm on the outside looking in. Yeah. I'm in. I got a letter from Densa. If you're in the bottom 4% of your IQ,
are they holding elections for the board?
Did you get like an invitation from them?
No, you don't get it. You have to apply. But I got they for whatever reason they officially tested my IQ several times in the mental hospital.
Oh, really?
So I know I do have the.
So
IQ.
you have an updated IQ. Yeah.
I have it. Yeah, I have.
So you're in the top 2%, is what I. Yeah. Now,
Yeah,
was
but
this the Stanford Binet test or the cattle test?
Man, I don't know. They don't tell you anything in that mental hospital. That's the thing. Oh yeah, I'm a genius.
Was this the? Maybe they do a special one there.
Hey man, you're the smartest guy here. That guy's eating his shoe.
Yeah.
No, it's a legit IQ test. But the thing is,
Well, it would have to be 132 on the Stanford Binet or 148 on the cattle test.
I think it was actually the Stanford Bidet is what I took.
Oh yeah, that's a very different test. Yeah.
The cattle test doesn't sound like a test that would test your intelligence.
It's not spelled that way.
Okay.
It's Cattell, maybe. Cattell.
Yeah, but I've told you this story before, and I told her to report it. She didn't, but Amy's credit card information was stolen, and the guy used it to pay his Mensa dues.
Oh yeah, you told me that, man.
I mean, that's crazy. He's got to be out. He's got to be out.
No, it's not. I don't think any. It's just you got to be in the top 2%. You don't have to be moral.
There's no moral code.
Yeah, there's no moral code.
Hey, that was pretty smart the way you got that credit card to pay your dues.
Smart is smart, dumb is dumb. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like Mandela wanted to get in, and they said no. You're a really nice guy, but you're 96%. I think is what they had him at.
They turned down Mandela.
Smart guy, but he didn't make the cut.
39 down. Some delivery people, and this is route men, and I just feel like, Greg, that's like what an old guy says when he forgets the name of UPS. You know what I mean? Like, who says route man? It is like the route men. The route men came by. Like that's not a known phrase. Route men.
Yeah, it's more of probably a guy with a milk route or a
guy with a milk route. Who's got a milk route now?
I don't know that. I think it's been a while. They were doing that maybe 15 years ago in my neighborhood. I think they were bringing milk. Yeah.
No, that's not. That's a. They were late in the game for milk routes.
Yeah, it wasn't very prevalent, but I think it was an option. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Gary Goldman has a real good bit on the whole thing. So
Gary Goldman, that's a problem with Gary Goldman. Anything you bring up, you could go. Gary Goldman's got a pretty good bit about that.
Yeah, he might have a Mensa bit, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But you can get in. I don't know if Goldman's top 2%.
I would imagine he is. Yeah,
he's smart. Now you got to be real smart.
Here's the thing, man. Let me tell you the thing about IQ tests. It's a very, I think, is a bogus thing because it's a very specific subset of intelligence. Like it's a bunch of like logic problems essentially, and I'm good at that, but I'm dumb in a lot of other ways.
No, so don't get me wrong, man. I mean, would I trust you with all kinds of different business? No.
Exactly. So I think it's kind of like
don't shy away from the fact you're good with the logic problems. You're one of the best crossword solvers. I mean, for God's sake, you're on like an 8-week streak.
I am, but I'm not. The speed's not to where these guys. Some of these.
But it's improving, isn't it?
Yeah, it is improving. It is improving. Now, I would like to bring up 32 down. I just thought this was kind of a strangely phrased clue. Batmobile, for example. And the answer is car. And I feel like if you're giving someone examples of cars, start with Civic. You know, maybe a Ford Fiesta. Right away to the Batmobile. That's your example. That's represent.
You got your sedans, you got your Batmobiles, you got your SUVs. What subset were you looking for?
Welcome to the lot. We got the compacts over there. We actually have in these new electric vehicles. Of course, the Batmobile in the back.
Yeah. 55 down, joint malady. That's gout. Gout, I believe, is a big buildup of uric acid.
Sure.
And from what I understand, I read somewhere that like asparagus has a lot of uric acid, which I think is that's a bad deal right there because I know a couple of guys with gout, and asparagus is going to wind up being a very convenient excuse for a lot of late stage alcoholics. It's in early 20s. I was just eating a lot of asparagus. And, I don't know. It shouldn't have got mixed up with the asparagus. Is what I'm saying.
I mean, I started eating asparagus in the morning. I would eat an asparagus on my lunch break. I couldn't get enough asparagus.
Weren't you also with that asparagus having a fifth of scotch each time?
Yeah.
Sure, but I got to tell you, I think it's the asparagus.
I think it's the asparagus. Oh, that's funny, man. Should we check out Tuesday?
Yeah. Let's do that, man.
January 5th. This was in Amy Schechter and Christina Iverson. Bunch of name puns here, which kind of back to the Tuesday being funny theme, which I like.
Sure.
So for instance, one clue was singer Benetar has the blues, and the answer was Pat's down.
Yeah, Pat Benetar.
Kind of Sue's over, Dawn's on, Jack's up, Wade's in, Chuck's it, and Ward's off.
Chuck's it.
Yeah.
Actor Norris got tagged. If you're playing tag with Chuck Norris, you need to be you need to watch out, man. Just let him win.
Just let him win, man. You're gonna get tagged with a roundhouse kick to the face.
Exactly. Yeah, be careful, man. I mean, the guy's a pretty cool customer, but you don't want to get on the wrong side of Chuck Norris in a game of tag.
And Chuck Norris, I do believe when it comes to like actor, martial artists, you have sort of your somewhat fraudulent guys. I do believe Chuck Norris was one of the legitimate guys. Like, I think he was a pretty high-ranking karate and taekwondo figure.
Well, who are you calling a fraud? I think Seagal knew karate.
There's people that clown on Seagal.
You're not saying it's Seagal, are you?
I'm more looking towards your Elvis Presley types.
I
think Kareem
Seagal,
Abdul-Jabbar.
Jabbar was a big judo guy, wasn't he? Or karate
I don't know
guy?
how good he was. Yeah, he was in that movie.
He was a professional athlete. I mean, that's the shot that you're going to take. Is it Jabbar?
You know my Jabbar story.
Nope.
I once found out that the reputed greatest high school basketball player to ever live was Lou Alcindor, and I for years went, man, I don't know what happened to that Lou Alcindor guy. He really burned out. And someone told me, that's actually Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Hall of Fame center.
Yeah, you thought he was Earl Manigault or something. Right?
Yeah.
No, he was pretty good as Kareem. You didn't realize that's reminiscent of you being in Missouri for 4 days thinking that you were in the state of Kansas.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, Greg, the more I've thought about that, I used to accept responsibility for that, and now I've grown as a person, and that one's on you guys, all right? You can't have a Kansas City that's just in 2 states, okay? What is that? Yeah. Who's that good for?
Yep, okay. 31 down, Mike's candy partner, that of course is Ike. The famous movie candy, it's all kinds of candy, but I think a lot of people get them at the movies, Mike and Ike. And Brendan, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but they're going their separate ways.
Oh, don't tell me.
Yeah?
Don't tell me.
they
what happened?
Did not see eye to eye. I think it had something to do with the movies. And so now there's going to be Mike's and there's going to be Ike's, and they're going to battle it out.
Greg, who's taking cherry in the split?
Oh, that's Mike. Yeah, Mike.
Oh boy, Ike's finished. finish, man.
Yeah.
Ike's finish.
Yeah.
Well, here's the problem with Mike and Ike's, because, like you said, it's a movie candy, really. I've never seen anyone buy a box of Mike and Ike's at CVS. It's a movie candy. But here's the problem. Mike and Ike's are a decent candy. Now, I'm more of a chocolate guy than a fruit guy.
Me too.
But Mike and Ike's are a decent candy. The whole problem with Mike and Ike is Good and Plenty came around, and everyone forgot which one was which, and Good and Plenty is horrible, so nobody takes the chance because they're
Good
going.
and Plenty sort of a licorice-based thing?
Yeah, it's pink and white, and they both taste like licorice.
Yeah.
And now everyone's confusing them with Mike and Ike's, and they're not going to take a risk of buying
I would
either.
say Dots or Jujubes would be more of a Juju fruits would be more of a cousin to Mike and Ike.
Oh, absolutely.
Good and
In
Plenty.
taste and candy,
Yeah.
it's Good and Plenty. The name is too confusing.
I gotcha.
I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
remember because I
Well,
know.
wait till you see Mike's and Ike's that are two separate candies.
Yeah.
And knowing these guys, they're not even going to want to be on the same. They insist on being at opposite ends of the counter.
Oh, wow. Ike's just going to be there with the greens. He's got the greens.
Yeah, that's not going to go well for him. Yeah.
29 across, how a used item may be sold, and that is as is. My favorite example of an as is sale was when I lived on 13th Street in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
There was an older couple on my street that would kind of have during spring through early fall, they'd have a daily garage sale, essentially. They sort of collected stuff from garbage and different places, and they would resell it. And sometimes it was cool stuff. And man, Greg, did that guy try and sell me half a baseball over and over again. A baseball broken in half, and I kept saying, this is half of a baseball, and he would say, it's a good price.
So just saw it in half, or
it was like broken, like the cover had fallen off, and then a huge chunk had fallen off. And this guy was trying to sell me it for $3, and I would say, "Hey man, that's not a baseball," and he would go, "It's a good price."
$3 is pretty good.
Yeah.
What's a full baseball go for now?
I don't know. I haven't bought a baseball in years.
I don't think it's $6. I don't know.
I don't think it's $6. Well, but then again, you have to add in the utility of a full baseball, which is very much useful.
Yeah,
and half a baseball, which does you no good.
Yeah, I kind of think he's overcharged. It's not a good price.
It's really the price on that is zero.
I don't know, man. Just for the novelty, I would have done it for anything under $1. I would have bought that half baseball.
Well, let me tell you something about that guy. There was a giant red snake on my street in Park Slope, okay, in 13th Street. Giant red snake. I was walking around evening time. I thought it was a hose. I walked over it. It was a live snake.
Oh,
and
that's awful.
That street was very neighborhood-like. So I started calling the neighbors over to look at this snake. It's crazy. There's no such thing as a snake in Brooklyn, let alone a giant red one. So clearly someone had released a pet. And that guy, everyone on the street's freaking out, except for that guy who was taking the news way too casually.
Oh, that's his snake, you're saying.
I think so. That guy just goes, these kind of things happen. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've seen this before. It was clearly that guy's snake.
Was he, by any chance, at his garage sale selling snake repellent? Because
the next week he had out a aquarium for sale, a snake-sized aquarium for sale. Unrelated to the snake sighting.
I want to go back to Pat Benetar. She has a lyric that I've never quite bought, and one of her most famous songs is "Hit Me with Your Best Shot," and she says, "Before I put a little notch in my lipstick case." So basically, every guy that she kind of, I guess uses or moves through, she's putting a little notch in her lipstick case. Do you think she does that? Or does anybody do that? Because honestly, first of all, I don't even know what a lipstick case is. Isn't that like just the tube?
Yeah, it runs out. What are you doing? Every time you get a new lipstick?
No, she's making a notch on the case.
That's what I'm saying. And it's just a tube. And once that lipstick runs out, you're on to the next tube.
So she would be keeping an old empty lipstick tube just to sort of keep track of how many guys she's been with. That's pretty creepy, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't like that. If I was ever with...
how do you make a notch on a lipstick case? You would have to have some sort of a pretty heavy metal thing,
Yeah, I mean, I think a good knife could do it. But yeah, it's not
so Pat Benetar's walking around with a knife.
Yeah, it's not good behavior. If I was ever with Pat Benetar, I'd say, look, I'll do this, but don't do the lipstick thing for me, okay? I'm not just another notch on the lipstick.
Right,
tube, okay?
right.
I'm something special here,
I guess what I would wonder is, let's say that you did wind up with Pat for an evening. How soon after you guys got done did she just like, yeah, that was nice. Where are you going? Why are you going into your purse?
Yeah. Why do you have a knife, Pat Benetar? Why do you have a knife?
I was trying my best. Oh, you're just making a notch in your lipstick case.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's interesting. I don't buy that for a second. I hope it's not true, because otherwise that's not great. Now, Greg, surprisingly, I'm not sure if we've ever broached this subject on the podcast, and stop me if we have. But 37 Down zipped along on a watercraft. The answer is jet skied. Now we have quite the jet ski story from Myrtle Beach.
Oh yeah, we have. We didn't talk about that. I don't think. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Now, were those wave runners or jet skis that we were on?
Well, technically, they call all of them jet skis, but technically, jet skis are the old school ones where you have to push down the thing.
Yeah,
so we were on wave runners, but so Greg was generous enough when I opened for him in Myrtle Beach. He got us a jet ski tour. We went out on jet ski.
So an hour and a half or 2 hours, didn't we?
Our guide was driving so fast on these things. And Greg, being the sensible guy that he is, was going pretty fast, but not feeling the pressure to like match this guy. Now, I felt like this guy's intent was we had to match him. He's taken us through these. It's really cool in Myrtle Beach. There's sort of these wetlands with marsh grass, so you're almost on trails on the water.
Trails, yeah.
Yeah, they really are trails. This guy's going through there at about 50 miles per hour. I'm trying to keep up with him. I spin out on a corner, just smash myself into the water. I'm shook up, I'm dazed, I'm out of it. The jet ski drifts away. Greg catches up. Greg's clearly obviously worried about me because he's a good friend. The guy turns around, doesn't even give a thought to if I'm okay or not, and just goes, because my jet ski had drifted into the grass, just goes
into the marsh. Yeah,
into the marsh.
It was fine. It was like
it was fine. Yeah, but floating. The guy just starts going, "Where is my jet ski?"
I think he was a little less confrontation, a little more nervous. He kind of came back and you're right. He did not acknowledge that you were hurt at all. He's like, where's jet ski? Where's jet ski?
Where is my jet ski? Where's my jet ski?
He was pretty athletic I think he was smoking while he was going 50 miles an hour.
He was a hot dogger. He was going about 65 miles per hour. Side saddle. He was riding this thing side saddle, 2 legs on one side, smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, man, he was real nervous. You could see his whole financial future flash before him.
That guy was one jet ski away from utter failure.
Yeah, he was like, where's jet ski? Where's jet ski? Yeah, that was great, man. Yeah, you went down hard.
Hard, man.
Yeah. Let's
Being able to remotely work from the comfort of your home is great. but not being near coworkers at your office can lead to delays in completing projects. One way to make sure your workflow stays on track is to use Monday.com. Monday.com allows you to track work projects, collaborate anywhere, and manage your workload. With it, you can see when certain projects are complete, what your team members are working on, and when you can expect projects to be finalized. While my team has been working from home, we've been able to view all of our projects that people are working on, and it's cut meeting times and prevented projects from slowing down or being bottlenecked. On top of bringing teams together, Monday.com also knows how important it is to integrate with other services that a business might use. Monday.com works great with services like G Suite, Zendesk, Facebook ads, and more. So if you want your team to be more effective than ever, visit Monday.com for a free 2-week trial.
Hi, I'm Greg Stone.
I'm Anthony DeVito.
And I'm Brendan Eyre, and we're the hosts of the Rad Dudecast.
We could tell you how amazing the Rad Dudecast is, but wouldn't you rather hear from actual listeners?
Hey, I'm Derek Gigabyte, motivational speaker, pickup artist, and 1,000% board certified alpha male. And if I wasn't constantly aroused, listening to the Rad Dudecast would definitely get me rock hard.
Well, it's your old pal, Gibby Ritchie. And when I'm not down by the creek skipping stones, I'm listening to my 3 favorite Rad Dudecast.
Hey, I'm Brendan, and I cheat on my wife. Listen to the Rad Dudecast.
That's right, man. You heard him. Subscribe to the Rad Dudecast for free on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
67 across, head of England. Lou, I want to nominate that for Clue of the Week.
It's a good one. It's a good one. I agree. They go to that well somewhat frequently, but this was done better.
Yeah.
You know, they'll use Lav or Lou, but this was done in a better way. A better way, I felt, rather than just straight out ask. Anyway, Wednesday, January 6th.
Hey, man, listen, I don't need you. You either vote for it or don't for it. Don't for it. I don't need you breaking down my choice, okay? It's my choice, and I stand behind it. I don't need you either. You can vote for it or you cannot vote for it. Okay?
In my understanding, we voted for it at the end. I
know, but
I've never heard of a guy who argues with a man supporting his point. I've never
you
Einstein
supported it, and then you undercut it a little.
Undercut it. Oh man, see, this is ridiculous. Wednesday, January. I'm going to call Densa about this. See if he can get you a promotion. Yeah. Wednesday, January 6th. This was an Eric Bornstein. The theme was Uniclue. I guess would we have done this with pen and paper in the actual times? It would have been presented differently, but every 2 answers that shared a number were only given 1 clue, and apparently, according to the notes, it was just presented as a straight list of clues in the times. So, for instance, I'll just give you like 1 across, N one down. The clue was rubberneck, and the answer for 1 across was stop, and the answer for 1 down was stare. So stop and stare.
You could have got there quicker.
How? How could I get there quicker? Do it quicker. Do it quicker. Do it quicker.
Well, I'm not looking at the puzzle. But yeah, so basically they had like a phrase of 2 words a lot of times. 1 was going across, 1 was going down, as like stop and stare. They get the gist of it. They didn't need all that stuff up front. And the thing about the paper.
I'm going to disrespect Eric Bornstein by saying he created, essentially, Greg, this was a list that didn't have across and down clues. It just had 1 list of clues. That's very impressive. That's the whole point.
I don't get it.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Yeah. Anyway.
You're going to hold this Mensa thing over my head forever.
41 across and
you should
down.
join, man. Just join and go hang out with those people because we don't want you.
I might join and try and take them down from the inside. Start just get on the forums and start saying
you're
really
not smart enough, man.
Really
you're
dumb
smart,
stuff.
You're smart, but there's like you're 98.7 and there's guys in there that are 99.9 and they're going to they're going to take you down.
I'm going to get on the forums and go, hey, you guys ever hear about how Stevie Wonder's not blind? 41 across and down was fully from, comma, as a place. That's born and bred. If someone says that to me, Greg, I say, hey, man, I didn't need to know where you were bred.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
where you were born, you know? You never hear a guy go, born in Detroit, bred at the Acapulco Sandals Resort.
Yeah.
I don't need the bred in the back of a Chevy Impala. I don't care where you were bred.
Yeah,
It's
if you were
born
even
and raised.
bred at all, that sort of implies that they had you for some sort of a reason other than just to have children.
Yeah, there's only one guy I know who was bred.
Who?
Yao Ming.
Yao Ming was bred. Yeah, he was. Yeah.
They made the two tallest Chinese basketball players marry.
Yeah.
Which I'd like
Now-
to see more of that.
I guess, a lot of farm children probably are bred, and that you do need some help. On
Yeah,
the
but I
farm.
think there's other reasons there. You want kids.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah. 64 down, former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzu. That's, of course, Shinzu Abe, A-B-E.
Yeah.
They used to call him Honest Abe. I think his I think his picture is on the 5 yen bill over there, and the 1/100th of a yen.
Yeah. 62 across. Cowboys Lasso. And that's a riata. Interesting clue. Cowboys Lasso. As if there's a different kind of lasso. We're not talking about regional sales directors lasso.
Those are illegal.
Yeah, we mean the Cowboys lasso. For roping cattle. We're not talking about any other kind of lasso here. You got Ted Lasso and a Cowboys lasso. That's it.
That's it. Yeah. I would imagine probably some of the S&M shops have their own version of.
Sure, yeah.
But that's still they're probably in cowboy outfits when they do that. So they're still probably
still probably Cowboys.
37 down, game with antlers. That's elk. It's a nicer game. When I was a kid, the game that we played was Hit Steve with the Antlers.
Smash Steve's head with the antlers.
No, we didn't smash him. We just poked him a little.
Just a little poke. Yeah, good. I wouldn't. There's nothing wrong with that. Steve's a better man for it.
Yeah, he is.
Little
Psychopath
comedy pet peeve. 10 down. Past the point of being a joke. That's too far. Nothing, Greg, I hate worse. And you see it more at like open mics in New York. Nothing I hate worse than the comic, a joke bombs, and he goes, too far or too soon?
No, it was too unclear.
Yeah.
The joke was not too far or too soon. It was too muddled and unclear.
Yeah, it was too not good of a joke.
Yeah. That's a great observation.
Oh,
man.
those guys kill me. Oh, too soon?
Too
Nope.
soon?
Right
No.
on time. A
That
bad
was
joke.
a perfect time. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
perfect time for somebody to do a well-written joke about that subject.
Yeah.
17 across, sold at Sotheby's. Is it Sotheby's or Sotheby's? Sotheby's.
I think Sotheby's. Sotheby's. Yeah.
Sold
I
at
don't.
Sotheby's, say, and that's auctioned. I've always wondered, Brendan, because I got to tell you, now I maybe been to one or two auctions, but I've seen a lot in film and television, and so you never see any of the bad auctioneers,
Yeah.
yeah. I just like to see it's 42. I hear this guy is saying 44. Okay, so 35. No.
You know what?
You know the kinds of tree.
Yeah. You know what? I feel like no one really wants it. Just that guy can have it. No, buddy, you gotta push it. I was
This is getting too heated between these two people. I'm just gonna give it to him. I don't want an argument to break it.
Yeah.
No, that's the whole purpose.
Yeah. You know what? I feel like we're really driving up the price here, fellas, and I don't like that.
It's not worth that much. It's not worth that much. And Mr. Sotheby's over there like, what's he doing? What's he doing?
My proudest moment was this comedian asked me to do a benefit show for a disease that her mom suffered from, and it was very lightly attended. And there was an auction associated with the show. And they really hadn't planned anything. And the guy who was going to run the auction was just like a relative, and he was really nervous. And I go, I'll do it. Yeah. And it was lightly attended. There weren't a lot of auction stuff up. And someone in the family had made a painting of a cat. And it was a very nice painting, Greg. It was very nice. And I went over and looked at it was like one of those, you write down your bids. And then, and the painting of the cat was going to go for $3. And I said, I am not getting off this stage till that cat painting is sold for over $200. And no one did anything, kept doing material. And every couple minutes I said, you think I'm kidding? No one's leaving. No one's leaving. But so another 5 minutes, somebody goes, $25. I go, that's right. Keep doing material. Another couple of minutes. All right, $75. Got that cat painting, Greg, up to $350 from $3. I got that cat
jokes
painting.
That
up.
bad? Were you that
What?
bad at the?
No, it was just everyone was ready to go, and
gotcha.
it was good jokes. It was just like, look, man. Yeah, we're not coming to a benefit for a disease, and you're walking away with a cat painting someone spent hours on for $3. I'm not having it.
So it was a good cat painting.
It was great cat painting. I mean, for an amateur, it was no Picasso.
Right. One time I was doing a show for I went back to my old fraternity. They wanted me to do something for their mom's weekend, and I wasn't working, so I was like, I'll do it. It was much like a lot of them were like parents of, the kids. My friends that had kids in the house or whatever, and their moms, and so and then they had an auction afterwards, and they didn't tell me that I had to do this auction. And at one point, I was just making it up as I was going on. They had me auction a dog. Like, I mean, the dog wasn't there, but they were like a dog, and I couldn't think. I go, listen, I don't know this for sure. It's my understanding is they kill these dogs if nobody takes them. We got to go to
$300. No. They say that's not even going to cover the cost of transport. So that thing's a goner. You want to check out Thursday?
Yeah, we gotta pick it up, man. You've been screwing around too much.
Yeah, you've been screwing around too much. Thursday, January 7th. This was a Matthew Stock and our boy Sid Sivakumar. Love him. Theme was Strike That. You had 4 answers where
theme.
THAT is replaced with XXXX. So, for instance, just with a twist, one of the answers was instead of with a twist, it was WIXXXXWIST. So the word that was replaced with X's in several answers. Very cool theme.
Yeah, I thought you did a nice job summarizing that theme, much better than the last puzzle.
I felt the pressure.
Yeah. That's the thing with you. You got to put pressure on you every now and then.
Yeah.
25 across, locale in a children's song title, and that's Dell. And, of course, Farmer in the Dell. Yeah. Farmer in the Dell. And I don't even know what a dell is. I know I've heard of the Wisconsin dells, and really that's just a bunch of indoor water slides. From driving by, it's a giant bunch of indoor water parks, which I don't know what these farmers are doing on a water slide, but it better be not during harvesting or planting season. You know, these farmers always, yeah. I guess they're farmer. It sounds better than the farmers in the water slide.
Farmers in the Dell. Well, get him out of there, okay? Because people are hungry. And this guy, and this
also,
guy's on
going
the
down
twister.
the slide.
Yeah,
there's kids that want to play, and this guy's going down a slide in his overalls, and it's making people uncomfortable.
My grandparents, live not. My mom's parents live not far from the Dells, and they would always go to the Dells. And as a kid, I associated the Dells because I would spend some time in Wisconsin because of family. I associated the Dells with water parks, so I would go, man, Grandpa and Grandma, they love water parks. And then I later found out it's mainly water parks and Native American casinos.
Okay.
It was more the slot machines they were after.
They were doing more of that than they were.
Than the wave pool.
Yeah. At one time, they probably were big water park people. They just made a transition. It's a natural transition.
Sure. 49 across, partner of Loose. That's fast. I'll tell you who plays it fast and loose, Greg.
Who's that?
The guy who writes down the suggested retail price on the price tags at Marshall's. Okay, that guy is making stuff up. You go to are you kidding? You go. Oh, how could I not buy these pants? They were originally $950, and they've been cut down to $19.99 by Marshall.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy he's making stuff up in there. Suggested retail price $4,000. You know what, Marshall? Get real.
I like it. My dad, he's going to tell, no matter what you buy, if it's clothing, no matter what you buy, he's going to tell you the Marshall's equivalent of that product. Like if you say, if you get a new shirt, he's like, I like your new shirt. How much you pay for that? I guess $95. $95. You get 4 shirts at Marshall's for $95.
I'm a Marshall's man. I got that new bit, not that new, but about Marshall's, and I love Marshall's. And
3 years old.
One thing I found it wasn't on an album, Greg. It's the base. It's the bedrock of my new album is that Marshall's bit. But one thing I found, the Marshalls in New York, terrible.
Really?
Don't even bother going. They got nothing. You come to Ohio Marshalls, you come to a Missouri Marshalls, man, you're loading up, okay? You get about 30 pairs of high-quality socks, sometimes irregular, but they'll cost you $5.99.
Right. Okay, that's good to know.
No problem.
I'm ready to move to Friday. I got a couple other things, but you know what? They're losable.
Yeah, same with me, really. I got 2 things, and you know what?
Oh, wait a minute. As long as we were talking earlier about stuff bad open micer comics say 37 across, see someone understands what I'm saying. The answer is this guy gets it. That's This guy gets it.
This guy gets it. Yeah, one person got it. Bad joke. Friday, January 8th. This was the great Evan Kalish. We work with him quite often. Themeless Friday, 31 across. Fabric choice for a gown. That's sateen. I've always preferred a lady in burlap myself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like the rough scratch of burlap against my cheek as we slow dance. Yes,
wagon woman.
Yeah, just
wagon
sort
train
of
woman or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. I like a lady in a burlap sack.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah. 62 down, and Brendan, this is it's sort of a. I try not to bring up Procter & Gamble too much on this podcast, but the clue is jiffy, and the answer is sec, which is fine. Means a brief moment or whatever. Can I get in a sec in a jiffy? I had Jif peanut butter, of course, which is it's a great product. But some of the stores would call it Jiffy. and it really got to me, man. It's not that popcorn in a foil pan. It's Jif peanut butter. One of the stores actually printed that on the tags, the price tags that you see on the shelves. Jiffy peanut butter.
Well, it's an insult because it's like, this didn't just come out. This is an established. This is carries some real gravitas. Jif peanut butter is one of the core brands of our nation. And
in the peanut butter category, it's the main player. I'll tell you, Peter Pan's not a bad competitor. Okay, I don't think it's quite as good of a product, but they're not they tend to come in on price a little too often. Okay. They'll come in with some cheap peanut butter and the grocery store will load up on it and you guys will be buying it. They own a year's worth of peanut butter, so they're just going to shove it down your throat. And every display in the store will have Peter Pan peanut butter. Yeah. Skippy's worse than that. Okay. Skippy's
third down.
Third. And then you got your, you got your little niche. Reese's got into it for a while.
I remember that. Yeah.
Goobers or whatever, where they got the peanut butter and the jelly.
That was actually pretty good.
Oh, that's disgusting.
But nobody was eating that with anything but a spoon. You weren't making a goober sandwich.
That's a completely niche product. And you got the health peanut butter with the oil on top or whatever.
Nothing makes me mad then. You got to get your peanut butter at Whole Foods completely. Yeah, that's what I like. Just half a thing of weird oil that I have to stir together with rock hard peanut cement that never even actually stirs.
Most of the business, Brendan, done in your 18-ounce jars. And then we had a couple of specialty products. We introduced the Simply Jif when I was there. That's a low-sugar, low-salt peanut butter. Not a real sexy product. It's mostly for diabetics. Sure. I suggested they call it Type 2 peanut goo, and nobody really wanted to go with that. A better name, don't you think, than Simply
Way better
Jif?
name. Better name. I'd buy it, and I don't even have diabetes. Type 2 peanut goo? Yes, please.
Let me tell you, and you've used the pandemic to really get in shape and get your life together in preparation for this kid. Your health is great. But, I mean, go back about a year, 2 years, you were about an apple fritter away from being diabetic, really.
Well, what's interesting about that is that it's true. Anyway, I was trying to come up with some sort of excuse, but really, one across. Longtime soft drink slogan. It's do the do.
Yeah.
Right? That should be a clue for anyone who drinks Mountain Dew. Because you know what you do? You do drugs, Greg. You don't do a drink. You do crack. You do cocaine. You drink a soda. So do the do is bad. It's bad all around. Okay, you don't do the do.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, at this point in my life, having a big 20-ounce glass of Mountain Dew would be the equivalent of doing drugs for me, I think.
I'm gonna get wild tonight. What do you mean? You get a little blow? No, I picked up a 20-ounce of Code Red Mountain Dew.
Let's go to Saturday.
January 9th. This was a Trenton Charleston. I will say this, man. I'm starting to put together kind of personality traits of the constructors. Trenton's hard. Trenton is hard every time, man. Trenton's a hard constructor.
Yeah, it's like he's got something to prove.
Yeah, well, he might. Now, I did have a question for you. 18 across, Roman leader. That's Greco.
Yeah.
Clever clue, Greco-Roman rather than a Roman leader. But what exactly is Greco-Roman wrestling as it compares to freestyle wrestling or the wrestling you did?
Well, the wrestling I did was collegiate wrestling or folk style wrestling, which is only done in the U.S. and it's closer to freestyle.
Yeah,
which is the international style. Greco-Roman is very specialized. Basically, you're using only your upper body. So I can't touch your legs. I can't with my hands, and I can't use my legs on your legs either. So it sort of forces you into a lot of upper body holds.
Okay.
And the U.S. is typically not great at it. We've had some
Right.
good Greco-Roman wrestlers over the years, but we're not. It's really good in some of the Eastern European countries and the former Soviet Union countries, like Bulgaria is very good. And,
Well, I would guess we're not going to be great at it if it's not done in high school or college. It's hard.
right.
To
I mean, you
develop
could you do it off season in high school a little bit,
Yeah.
like you do freestyle, but I probably wrestled in 2 or 3 Greco tournaments my whole life in high school.
Now, is it done in the nude as the Greeks and Romans would wrestle?
All right, let's go to.
Yeah, moving on.
41 down, something shot from a cannon nowadays. That's a T as in T-shirt.
Yeah.
Of course, you got and I don't know if I've said this on this podcast or not. If I have, I apologize. But I got to say, it's one of the hardest conversations in sports that a manager has to have. It's the PR guy has to sit down with one of those girls that do the T-shirt cannon and tell them that they've aged out. It's a really. It's like, listen. You're 26. You can't do this anymore. Okay, it's a young girl's game.
We can maybe get you something cheering on the mascot when he does the trampoline dunk, but that we're not guaranteeing it. We're not guaranteeing
Brendan,
it.
those girls are usually the T-shirt girls when they're not
Yeah,
firing T-shirts.
yeah.
Yeah. We can put you into an office position if you like.
The Cleveland Crunch used to I think it was they're the indoor soccer team in Cleveland, and I think it was between the third and fourth quarter they would be given balls and they could kick them out into the crowd.
Wow.
Souvenir balls. And my friend Adam played on the Crunch. Very good. I grew up playing with him. And he'd just kick it to me every time. Because I'd go down and talk to him before the game, and he knew I was there, and he'd just look where I was and just kick me a ball. I had about 30 Cleveland Crunch balls, and they weren't even good balls. I didn't even want them. It was just funny to us for him to just kick me a ball every time.
Yeah, that is. Meanwhile, there's some kid.
I know.
Would have changed his life.
Yeah.
What a jerk.
Yeah.
Did you ever give it to the kid next to you?
Never. I took it home and I slashed it with a knife.
What a jerk. Sunday.
Yeah, let's move on to Sunday. Real quick, 53 across on Saturday gets down, and the answer is learns. I want to nominate that for Clue of the Week just because it so clearly makes sense, but it confused me for so long.
Okay. As long as you were going back to Saturday, I'm going to 42 across, VIP of industry. That's czar.
Yeah.
You know? You ever think like when somebody like is referred to as czar, as they like abuse that privilege immediately and start like acting like they're like Catherine the Great or something?
Yeah. Yeah. This guy's our new transportation czar. Cut the last guy's head off.
What? What are you doing?
A czar is a czar. I have to get this one in for your sake. 31 across on Saturday. Biblical character who lived to be 912 years old. That's Seth. You know what Methusaleh said when Seth died?
What did he say?
Nice try, Junior.
I thought you were going to go with it's really a shame to see a kid die that young. You know, he had his whole life in front of him.
There's only 3 guys I knew that lived to be in their 900s. That's Seth, Methuselah, and Yoda. Those are the 3. That's the 900 club.
Methuselah's kid had his whole life in front of him.
Sunday, January 10th, This was in Alex. I want to say beige. Greg, how would you pronounce Bagcz?
I wouldn't.
Yep. I want to say, I'm going to guess beige. Forgive me, Alex, if I'm wrong. The title of the puzzle was Oh, for Pete's Sake, where 4 was spelled Four. And it basically was just answers that had 4 letters repeated in a row. So, for instance, one of the answers was no man is an island. Within that answer, ANIS is repeated twice. ANIS, ANIS. And there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those, which I pretty tough research to come up with those. But I found it extraordinarily helpful for a Sunday theme because that way, anytime I got one letter in the shaded box, I knew I could put that letter elsewhere in the shaded box, respectively.
Right. Yeah,
so
I know it helped
helpful.
me. Yeah, it was very helpful and kind of fun. Actually, that "No Man is an Island" that was a pre-COVID quote, right?
Yeah, we're all islands now.
Yeah, several men are islands at this point.
Yeah. 39 across. Beethoven title woman whose identity is unknown, and that's Elise. Now, Greg, I know historians have been vexed by this woman's identity, but I'll be honest with you, I think it's Elise.
Man, you just you came right in on that, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. That's good. 73 down. Classic work from Carol Capek, and that's RUR, which it's something Rossum's Universal Robots. That was a play that he wrote in 1920. Do you know what else he did, Brendan?
What?
He invented the word robot.
Yeah, I know. I looked that up too. That's crazy.
This guy's pretty good. I don't think we've had any one of those before, have we? Any guy that just invented a word?
No, I mean, I think Isaac Asimov did a lot of that, but he's not. We've never really that Asimov doesn't fit well in crosswords. So
He didn't invent robot.
He didn't invent robot. No, he invented a lot of similar. The guy. There's a guy. I forget his name. But a book I read where the guy invented the word cyberspace. But yeah, I mean, not only did he invent robot, I looked up that play, and it's like really kind of about what all robot movies have been about since then. Like the idea of robots, are they slaves or do they need freedom? Like he kind of did all the robot stuff right at once, where it's like, okay, be done with robots now, because that guy nailed it.
Right.
In RUR. In RUR.
RUR.
13 down. Red morning sky to sailors. That's a bad omen, Greg, as we all know from the saying. But the saying, I don't know if you know this, has been heavily edited over time. The full saying is actually red sky at night, sailor's delight. Red sky in the morning, sailor's warning. Red sky at noon. Guys, you know how I said it was bad in the morning? that was more of just a fun saying. We're screwed. We're screwed here because this is this is unprecedented.
Man, that's quite a saying they got there.
Well, that's why they shortened it, They shortened it down.
31 across. Aid for making a tiki bar cocktail. It's Bahama Mama Mix. Brendan, there was a time when a couple years when I did some cruise ship gigs, and we always stopped, in the Bahamas, in Nassau. And I'd get off and walk around. And I got to tell you, most of the Bahamian economy is based on the fact that the words Bahama and Mama rhyme. That is
Oh, that's great, man.
Yeah.
123 across. My final nomination for the week. I don't know why I found this to be such a good clue because it's pretty simple, but I was fooled. Makes Don nod. And that's reverses.
Yeah, that was a good one. I also would like to nominate 80 down, quick pick me up, calf. Again, very simple. And then also 43 down, mammals, head, and heart. And that's, what is it? I can't remember the answer on
M's.
M's, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and say Alex Beige, or however you pronounce your name. We apologize.
Just say B.
Alex B, you have, what is this, kindergarten? You have won the one down clue of the week for, what was your first nomination, Greg?
80 down, quick pick me up, calf.
Quick pick me up, calf. I love it. I can't believe I didn't nominate it. Congratulations, Alex. You join a esteemed group of colleagues who have won this prize from bestowed upon you from Greg Warren and Brendan Eyre.
Exclusive than Mensa.
Way more exclusive.
Yeah.
They're letting anyone in. I will say real quick before we get out of here, I do have to give a shout out to a gentleman who I admire and really like. 17 down. Guy who hosts diners, drive-ins, and dives, and that's Guy Fieri, or as he for some reason pronounces it, Fieti.
He does?
Yes. Don't question him about it.
Okay.
But
Yeah, sure.
I love Guy Fieri, Greg, because his relentless positivity has overcome bowling shirts with flames on them, white Oakley sunglasses, and spiked bleach blonde hair to make him likable. Like you got Gordon Ramsay and Bobby Flay on there just yelling at everyone, and Fieti is just in some diner in Rochester going, well, these are the best tater tot nachos I've ever had in my whole life. He's never tasted a thing he doesn't like. It's the best. He goes anywhere and loves everything.
Man, I got to get more. I like positivity. I need to take a closer look at this guy. And is it Rochester, really?
He goes everywhere. I mean, everywhere he goes, he loves everything.
Yeah.
In fact, this guy. Amy's brother was on that show. Amy's brother was the chef at a vegetarian diner in Boston, and he did the segment with Guy and said he was just a great guy and really liked the food and was cool.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I'm giving him man of the week.
Yes, man of the week. One down man of the week goes to Guy Fieri. We will respect that you've changed the R to a T in what is not a known Italian practice. I do want to let you guys...
Brendan, how many times a week giving out man of the week?
None.
Yep. It's quite an honor.
Yeah, up into this point, there's been about 75 episodes where it's been man of the week, a tie between Brendan and Greg. 76th episode goes to Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in to One Down. We sure hope you enjoy it. If you got any suggestions or would like to see us talk about some other things or whatever you want, get at us on Twitter at One Down Crossword or One Down Podcast. Excuse me, One Down Podcast. And follow Greg and I on all social media platforms.
Just want to add one thing. Brendan did say we'd love to hear your suggestions. We would, except for man of the week. We don't take suggestions on that. That's for Brendan and I only to decide.
I will say this. If you suggest man of the week, you're definitely winning worst man of the week.
Yeah,
which is also a new segment.
The only one if you want to suggest Fiete again, we'll take that. We'll take that under consideration.
We'll take that into consideration. That guy's never met a food he didn't like. All right, we'll see you guys.
One Down is hosted by Greg Warren and Brendan Eyre, produced and edited by John Baldwin. Our theme song is written and performed by Henry Phillips. Executive producers Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly for the Laugh Button Podcast.
One Down, the comedy crossword podcast.
Hey, my dark darlings. Hopefully, you've been enjoying our latest videos. We're a small crew here at Something Scary, so we have to make sure that the work that goes into our episodes gets done in order and on schedule. So that's why I want to tell you about our sponsor, Monday.com. Monday.com is an online teamwork platform that keeps your team connected from anywhere. I really enjoy the visual ease of using Monday.com. It helps banish the demons of confusing email chains or who's doing what and by when. It helps make sure everyone is aligned and on the same page. One of the things that I enjoy the most about Monday.com is that it's customizable, so it feels like it could fit any type of collaboration or industry. Build confidence within your team and reach every goal with ease. Visit Monday.com to start your free 2-week trial.